Salt. Let's see. Let's put this back down where it was. So did anything happen today that I should know about? Any news? Any headlines? No? Quiet day? Cool. Just gonna sit here and dunk my turmeric tea. Good to know. All right, cool, guys. Thanks. My throat is rough, guys. Let that steep a little bit more. Nice, Okra. Nothing that you didn't predict. Well, that sucks, Caboose. Oh, sore today. My shoulder's a little. Look, I'm not gonna talk about it. I mean, like Kaiser already pointed out, I saw this verdict coming a mile away. I thought we might have leaned closer to a mistrial, but like I said, y'all needed to prepare yourselves for a full acquittal. I can tell you I got an email from the Stream Elements Creator Diversity Program team per my application because they were giving away money and equipment and training. Apparently, I was rejected, and as such, I'm going to claim ableist homophobia and political discrimination. It's gonna be my go-to on that. It's like they rejected my application because I'm gay, because I'm an anarchist, because that's what I'm gonna go with. Imagine saying hail. I'm too mainstream. There we go. That's it. That's it, Ninja. Thanks. Imagine saying Hail Rittenhouse, right? Like that's a take. Let's get that out of shot at least. There we go. But there's good news with this, folks. There's good news. Yeah, whoever. Bad empanada. That's right. There's good news in this verdict. Here's what you need to take away from this verdict. It is okay for you to cross state lines and engage yourself with a community you have barely any ties with or loose associations with at best, violently if you so choose. This is the takeaway. So, like, as political activists, as people who participate in direct action, 1, you need to get yourself an AR-15. 2, you need to start showing up to protest wherever you want. Right? That's well, I mean, whether, you know. Yeah, that's the takeaway here, is that all of that doesn't matter. All that matters is the particular act itself. Did he act in self-defense? Did you act in self-defense? It does not matter if you showed up from out of state. It does not matter if you barely have ties to the community. None of that matters. That's all on the periphery now. It is perfectly okay for you to just strap a fucking AR-15 to your back, throw some body armor on, and roll out to another state to participate in something that, again, you identify them as part of your community, right? It could be labor organization. It could be ethnic or racial. It could be sexuality. It could be, I mean, all sorts of things create and form a community, right? So you were defending your community. So take that away from this. It is now, as far as I can tell, precedent has been set that it's okay for out-of-staters to show up to potential direct action and engage with a fucking AR-15 on you if you want. So, cheers. Thanks, Kyle. How are the new Black Panthers doing? Do they have AR-15s? We should do a fundraiser. We should get the new Black Panthers AR-15s. Somebody put that on the agenda. Oh. Nah, they need tanks. Oh, it's a terrible idea, Caboose. Yeah, I can't wait. What happened the last time that a bunch of black people armed themselves? Did anything bad come of that? I mean, again, as an anarchist, I'm for the dissolution of most of these gun laws. I think all of the minorities, I think all of them should be strapped. I honestly, I think black male to female transgender people should literally be walking around with like an H&K MP5 on them. I would just, I'd have a fucking fundraiser and hook them up, right? I think that people have a right to self-defense, no matter who they are, right? Guns for all. Yeah. Full decriminalization. Full, like, absolute legalization. Second Amendment. Right to bear arms. I believe in it. So, why don't we do it? Oh, including felons. Sure. Let's do felons, too, while we're at it. What part of the Constitution states that just because you've been convicted of crime, you lose your rights and status as a citizen? I'm just a constitutional originalist. That's all. I'm just a constitutional originalist. I'm just interpreting it the way the founding fathers intended it to be interpreted. So, yep. Oh, Graf. Yeah, overseas commentators can just shut the fuck up on this one. As far as internal matters, when it comes to guns in America, unless you've lived under it, just shut the fuck up. They don't know what it's about usually. Do you know why I pulled you over? I was speeding, officer. It's a really dangerous neighborhood. Yeah, you are right. You are right. Is there a firearm in your vehicle? No, officer. You need one around here. Let me grab you one. Karina, exactly how the founding fathers intended it to be. Here, here. You're a good American. Karina, Canada's America anyway. It's just America light. So, you know, cheers. Irresolution. Yeah, it really is. It really is. I gave up doing it ages ago. Like, look, it's just something you won't get. It's like trying to say, like, we're going to take vodka away from Russians. Like, Russians drink too much, and we're going to try and take their vodka away from them. And it's causing them too much harm. Really? Really? You think that's going to go well for you? Good luck with that one. We'll be taking tea away from the British next week and beer from the Germans. Sure. Sure you will. Good luck. Magazines. Gemma, I'm sorry. I had to go full gun pedant on that. Though the descriptive nature is coming around, but the fact of the matter is a clip loads from the side or the top and a magazine loads from the bottom. But forgive me. But yeah, we'll fucking hook that shit up. Gun people, Gemma. Gun people. Wait until a fascist flashlight shines in your face for no reason. Yeah, know, right? Oh, still burping up that fucking shake. Aficionado. A gun aficionado. We generally just say gun nuts in this part of the world. Yeah. I think the takeaway from this case is actually a good one. I was watching a stream by one of the gamers I fucking watch, and he had it ruined. Absolutely ruined. It gets so weird and uncomfortable because he said something and people started screaming ableism so much in chat. Like, it was so uncomfortable. I was like, ugh, I gotta ditch. I'm like, this is just, I can't hang with this. Right? It was rough. And it wasn't, dude, it wasn't ableist. It just is like, people fucking take a chill pill, man. Ron DeSantis doesn't even have the numbers to fucking pull that off. It'd be funny if he did. DeSantis? Ron DeSantis? Oh, no, he has to capitalize on it. He has to capitalize now. He's got to strike while the iron's hot. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna see fucking Rittenhouse do all sorts of fucking moves right now. Yeah. He's gonna like sign on, do a whole bunch of appearances. He's gonna strike while the iron's hot. But yeah, you're gonna see him profit. For sure. Right wingers are already shoving money in his fucking hands. Yeah. Yeah, it's the American way. Yeah, anybody who didn't think he was going to, like, I don't know what you were. Oh, it's adorable. Gemma, I saw, but America's having a day, Gemma, and you know what happens when America has a day. We force it on the rest of the world. So, you know, it's just how we roll. If we have an issue, you all have an issue. I don't know. I didn't. If you didn't get the memo, Gemma, the world revolves around America. Absurd. I think they will be. I don't think they're gonna get what they deserve. I mean, they were literally hunting a black dude. You know, but I love that as an insult. Kyle would defend tea at the Boston Tea Party. Hey, Jack. Thanks for the sub. Mercenary just got grabbed by automod. I have the lowest settings possible for automod. Like, literally custom defined the lowest settings possible for automod. Mercenary just got grabbed by automod. Almost 6 months. What are we naming our kid? I don't know, Jack. I think we should probably go for an androgynous name. That way, you know, depending on what whatever they choose as their gender identity, and however they choose to, you know, live their life, and the name shouldn't affect them that much, because names are bullshit, man. Names are bullshit. So let's go with I don't know. What do you want to go? What about Pat? It's short for Pat. Let's call them Brick. Names are boogie sooses. I kind of want to call it that from now on. I kind of want to boogie sooses. Down with the boogie sooses. How about Jimmy semicolon drop table? Boogie sooses. Goddamn boogie sooses. What was the suggestion? Asim. Asim, meaning protector in Egyptian. You know what, Jack? I like it. That's what we're gonna name our kid, Jack. So, in 3 months, when Jack and I have our child, we're gonna name them Asim. I like it. So, cheers, Jack. We just chose a name for our child. Obligatory. This is the future the left wants. Can we just spell it Boojwahze already? Bourgeoisie. I know, right? Well, we can either change the spelling or we can change the pronunciation. And I say we go with change the pronunciation because that's more trolly. Oh, you are part of the boogie sooses? The what? The boogie sooses. Hardest part of being a leftist is spelling Burger King. I've been thinking about topping lately. I was actually talking about talking to my dom last night about it, Karina. I was joking about how I'd be terrible at it because I have no rhythm. I was like, wait, hang on, let me try and get my hip thrust going. Absolutely no rhythm. Can't wait to say that to the next bougie person I see. Boogie Sooses! I'm dude. I ain't never fucked it. I ain't never fucked. Never, not once. I got no rhythm. I got no experience. I basically be like that fucking weird twitchy fucking like virgin teenager that you were back in the day, right? Like no fucking rhythm. Like, So yeah. Oh, we could do. It's not even worth a DGen story time. But I was over at my Dom's last night. It's his birthday week, so I'm spending a little extra couple nights with him. I may cook him dinner on Sunday or something. Serve him nude. Was over there and giving him a massage. He's had a rough week. Got a bunch of court filings done and shit like that. And so he didn't sleep well either. So went over and just gave him a nice rub down, gave him a good massage, gave his midsection a bit of a tongue bath, just to relax him. Used his favorite oil, used his favorite massage oil, and he really enjoys the scent. It's like rosemary passion fruit or some shit like that. It's a weird fucking scent as far as I'm concerned, but he loves it, so that's all that matters. Give him a nice little massage. But yeah, came up partway through. He grabbed my junk and was sort of just like hanging on to it. And I was like, I'm like, trying to like fucking give myself a stroke with it. And I couldn't. It was, slept like a baby though. Slept like a baby. I know what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. No, Jack. I've talked about that movie before. It's an absolute shit show, isn't it? Yeah, Fist of the North Star, the live action one. It's an absolute nightmare. It's terrible. There's an easy pass. Call it syncopation and kick an orchestra down the nearest stairway. Crimson. Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry you're having a rough time with a project, with an assignment. Yeah. Well, let me know if we can help. It's bad. It's bad. They don't hold to the source material at all. The style is wrong. The fucking martial arts. It's bad. It's fucking bad. Yeah, the Fist of the North Star live action. I've mentioned it before. It's a rough movie. But it is pretty standard for anime live action movies, especially like going back to 96. Yeah. Who shared what? Oh, Cupcake. I just saw what you posted on shared content. Yeah. Yeah. 100%, yeah. It's one of the many dangers of having that person. Yeah. I won't name names, but the fact that they exist is a problem. Yeah. Karina. Ow. Yeah, that's tough hair to yank out. Like that shit's in there deep and it's usually thick. That's a rough one. I saw somebody talking in one of the trans subreddits the other day about like sizing of clothes, and like it was a conversation of like the conversation was built around like I believe it was a female to male whose boyfriend was sort of teaching them like traditional like bro stuff, right? Like just male stuff. And the conversation ended up in like somebody else spoke up who was male to female who had a wife, and that she was teaching them about like all the like fuckery that goes on with women's clothing sizing. And a side conversation broke off about how there's probably like actual cases of like dysphoria being kicked off within the trans community by people that come in and then don't understand or have yet to experience the absolute shit fuckery that is women's sizing, especially on a global scale. And yeah, it was just an interesting side conversation. I just sort of got to partake in. Like I didn't step in, but I got to read it. I was like, you know what? There's a valid point there. There's like people like legitimately having like anxiety issues and body dysmorphia issues just because of this shit fuckery outside of the standard intended recipient population. So yeah. I was like, you know, that's a good point, actually. Why aren't those sizes standardized by now? I mean, we know why, but why aren't those sizes standardized? Like, for the fuck's sake. Yeah, it's like everything should just be measured. Everything should just be measured. All of these like intermediary measurement systems should just go away. Like there should just be numbers that have like real correlation to real world fucking math. You know, I just, what's your waist size? What's your chest size? What arm length do you need? What leg length do you need? What kind of inseam do you need? Done, and done. Right? Like what's with all this like intermediary shit fuckery? Yeah. Yeah, Karina. Interesting, Herodotus. My teacher didn't give me a lot of direction, and although I liked the museum, it kind of felt pompous. It felt like they copy and pasted a building from a rich community and put it in a rundown city without much forethought. I'm glad I brought a friend, and it was almost entirely empty, or else I would have died of stuffiness. He didn't even give us a syllabus. Oof. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is fast fashion is to blame. Cool. I'm comfortable with that. See, y'all notice what I did? Did anybody notice? You notice we're not hearing much from that contingent right now? You can't. Don't engage them. Look, here's the truth of the matter. It's Friday night. The Kyle Rittenhouse verdict is in. The chuds are going to do what the chuds do. So this is like mating season for like swallows or something, right? Like you're going to be walking down the path near the park and you're just going to get dive bombed by birds, right? Just know that. Yeah. So just switch the conversation to something like dysphoria caused by women's clothing sizing, or me getting, you know, me serving my dom and giving him a good massage, right? Like just switch the topic and move on with your lives. They're more like geese, annoying little shits. They're traveling in packs of jackasses. Hey, let them. We've dealt with far worse. So everybody just put on your prepare, right? Put on your waders, Put on your chest high waders and prepare to wade through some shit tonight. Yeah. I don't know what we're doing tonight, nonsense. I have no idea. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, if you guys does anybody have any ideas? Does anybody want to watch anything? Yeah, see, that was the sort of like, I didn't even think about it like that before, Gemma, because again, it's not really my issue, right? Like it's rare I think about women's clothing, right? I wear skirts, but the skirts I buy are sized like by like inches on waist, right? It's not an issue for me. But yeah, seeing somebody discuss it, I was like, Jesus Christ, you're right. Like that's a whole level of shit fuckery that like women are like cisgendered women are already like dealing with on a daily basis. Imagine if you're trans woman and you're like dealing with a dysphoria level issue on top of it. Like, I'm like, God damn, could the clothing manufacturers just stop being shitheads? That'd be great. Like, this just seems like an unnecessary topic and issue, right? Like this would be simple to solve. This would be simple to solve. Like, just stop being shitheads about your sizing, and we could just move on from this topic entirely. Women of all stripes could just get on with buying clothes. Nonsense said, I just saw Scott on Dylan's panel. He basically said Kyle went to a pedo uprising. Told you he was fucking stupid. You gotta be dumb as sticks, y'all, to be an ANCAP. Yeah, there was a side discussion about that as well, Gemma, involving like, you know, somebody said that like they were having a conversation with somebody and they're like, do I look ugly in this? And the sort of gist was, yeah, but it's not because you're ugly. It's because that piece of clothing is made for someone who's tall. And that put on you makes you look not good, and that you need something for your size, which is like, yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ, it's so much easier just to be a man shopping, clothes shopping. It's so much easier. Holy shit. We really can just eyeball it and be like, yeah, that'll work. Resolution, take care of yourself. If you want to swing by later on the Discord server for Bad Movie Night, by all means, we'll be there. All right. Why is my start menu not, or my taskbar not coming up? Oh. I suppose we could, oh God, it's a lot of fucking reading. I need to get some of it done though. No, we haven't, Beast. If y'all want to figure it out while I Mario Brothers live action is still better Cyberpunk than 2077. God, that game sucks. It was a direct quote actually with her. So, yeah, don't blame me, but all right. Let's get some reading done. Let's get some theory done so I can fucking like cuz I took last night off. It's not going to be great for my voice. But no. No, that's like next week, I think. Oh, Jesus Christ, Jack. All right, let me kill all the alerts. There. Might play some games too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we do. All right. I didn't know you were in Costa Rica, Jack. Or I did know and I forgot. Either way. May come visit you one of these moments. Especially in fucking Central America. They've never been abused. Oh. If you guys want to figure out what you want to watch, nice. Feel free. I'll unarchive the thread on Bad Movie Night. If you want to check what we've got in the list, if you guys want to like sort of handle that, by all means. Or if you want to cupcake. All right, I need to get some of this fucking reading done. You like the Street Fighter Mortal Kombat combo idea personally? Jack. Oh, Jack. You got the timing down, bro. You got the timing down. All right. All right. What's your degree in, Jack? Before I start this, I'm just curious. You sound like a law student. International relations with an emphasis on international diplomacy. Jesus Christ. Good luck, Jack. All right, fucking diplomat. Jack going the diplomat route. Well, Jack, if you end up with an ambassadorship to some exotic like Fiji or, you know, fucking something like that, remember your homie. Remember your homie. Ooh, yeah. Oh, right there. Holy shit, man. That's sore. All right. Chapter 8, Section 3. What other forms did state intervention in creating capitalism take? Beyond being a paymaster for new forms of production and social relations and defending the owner's power, the state intervened economically as well. The state played a key role in transforming the law codes of society in a capitalistic fashion, ignoring custom and common law to do so. Similarly, the use of tariffs and the granting of monopolies to companies played an important role in accumulating capital at the expense of working people, as did the breaking of unions and strikes by force. However, one of the most blatant of these acts was the enclosure of common land. In Britain, by means of the Enclosure Acts, land that had been freely used by poor peasants for farming their small family plots was claimed by large landlords as private property. As E.P. Thompson notes, quote, Parliament and law imposed capitalist definitions to exclusive property and land. See Customs in Common, page 163. Property rights, which exclusively favored the rich, replaced the use rights and free agreement that had governed peasants' use of the commons. Unlike use rights, which rest in the individual, property rights require state intervention to create and maintain. The stealing of the land should not be underestimated. Without land, you cannot live and have to sell your liberty to others. This places those with capital at an advantage, which will tend to increase rather than decrease the inequalities in society, and so place the landless workers at an increasing disadvantage over time. This process can be seen from early stages of capitalism. With the enclosure of land, an agricultural workforce was created which had to travel where the work was. This influx of landless ex-peasants into the towns ensured the traditional guild system crumbled and was transformed into capitalistic industry, with bosses and wage slaves rather than master craftsmen and their journeymen. Hence, the enclosure of land played a key role for, quote, it is clear that economic inequalities are unlikely to create a division of society into employing master class and a subject wage earning class unless access to the means of production, including land, is by some means or another barred to a substantial section of the community. Maurice Dobbs, Studies in Capitalistic Development, page 253. The importance of access to land is summarized by this limerick by the followers of Henry George, a 19th century writer who argued for a single tax and the nationalization of land. The Georgites got their basic argument on the importance of land down these few excellent lines. A college economist planned to live without access to land. He would have succeeded, but found that he needed food, shelter, and somewhere to stand. Thus, the individualist and other anarchist concern over the land monopoly, of which the Enclosures Act were but one part. The land monopoly, to use Tucker's words, quote, consists in the enforcement of government land titles which do not rest upon personal occupancy and cultivation. The Anarchist Reader, page 150. It's important to remember that wage labor first developed on the land, and it was the protection of land titles of landlords and nobility combined with enclosure that meant people could not work their own land. In other words, the circumstances so created by enclosing the land and enforcing property rights to large estates ensured that capitalists did not have to point a gun at workers' head to get them to work long hours in authoritarian, dehumanizing conditions. In such circumstances, when the majority are dispossessed and face the threat of starvation, poverty, homelessness, and so on, initiation of force is not required. But guns were required to enforce the system of private property that created the labor market in the first place, to enforce the enclosure of common land and protect the estates of the nobility and wealthy. In addition to increasing the availability of land on the market, the enclosures also had the effect of destroying working class independence. Through these acts, innumerable peasants were excluded from access to their former means of livelihood, forcing them to migrate to cities to seek work in the newly emerging factories of the budding capitalist class, who were thus provided with the ready source of cheap labor. The capitalists, of course, did not describe the results this way, but attempted to obfuscate the issue with their usual rhetoric about civilization and progress. Thus, John Bellerth, a 17th century supporter of enclosures, claimed that the commons were a hindrance to industry and nurseries of idleness and insolence. The forests and great commons make the poor that are upon them too much like the Indians, quoted by Thompson. Elsewhere, Thompson argued that the commons were now seen as a dangerous center of indiscipline. Ideology was added to self-interest. It became a matter of public-spirited policy for gentlemen to remove cottagers from the commons, reduce his laborers to dependence, making of the English working class, pages 242 to 243. The commons gave working class people a degree of independence which allowed them to be insolent to their betters. This had to be stopped, as it undermined to the very roots of authority relationships within society. The commons increased freedom for ordinary people and made them less willing to follow orders and accept wage labor. The reference to Indians is important, as the independence and freedom of Native Americans is well documented. The common feature of both cultures was communal ownership of the means of production and free access to it. As an early American economist, Edward Wakefield, noted in 1833, quote, "Where land is cheap and all are free, where everyone who so pleases can easily obtain a piece of land for himself, not only is labor dear, as it respects the labor's share of the product, but the difficulty is to obtain combined labor at any price." England and America, quoted by Jeremy Breacher and Tim Costello, Common Sense for Hard Times, page 24. The enclosure of the commons, in whatever form it took, solved both problems: the high cost of labor and the freedom and dignity of the worker. The enclosures perfectly illustrate the principle that capitalism requires a state to ensure that the majority of people do not have free access to any means of livelihood, and so must sell themselves to capitalists in order to survive. There is no doubt that if the state had left alone the European peasantry, allowing them to continue their collective farming practices, collective farming, because as Kropotkin shows in Mutual Aid, the peasants not only shared the land, but much of the farm labor as well, capitalism could not have taken hold. See Mutual Aid pages 184 to 189 for more on European enclosures. As Kropotkin notes, instances of commoners themselves dividing their lands were rare. Everywhere the state coerced them to enforce the division or simply favored the private appropriation of their lands by the nobles and wealthy. Mutual Aid, page 188. Thus, Kropotkin's statement that to speak to the natural death of the village community or of the commons in virtue of economical law is as grim a joke as to speak of the natural death of soldiers slaughtered on a battlefield. Mutual Aid, page 189. Like the more recent case of fascist Chile, free market capitalism was imposed on the majority of society by an elite using an authoritarian state. This was recognized by Adam Smith when he opposed state intervention in the wealth of nations. In Smith's day, the government was openly and unashamedly an instrument of wealth owners. Less than 10% of British men, and no women, had the right to vote. When Smith opposed state interference, he was opposing the imposition of wealth owners' interests on everybody else. And of course, how liberal, never mind libertarian, is a political system in which the many follow the rules and laws set down by the so-called interests of only a few. As history shows, any minority given or who take such power will abuse it in their own interests. Today, the situation is reversed, with neoliberals and right libertarians opposing state interference in the economy, example, regulation of big business, so as to prevent the public from having even a minor impact on the power or interests of the elite. The fact that free market capitalism always requires introduction by an authoritarian state should make all honest libertarians ask, how free is the free market? And why, when it is introduced, do the rich get richer and the poor poorer? This was the case in Chile. For the poverty associated with the rise of capitalism in England 200 years ago, E.P. Thompson's The Making of English Working Class provides a detailed discussion. Howard Zinn's A People's History of the United States describes the poverty associated with 19th century U.S. capitalism. I've just been lazy. Jay, if you're still there, I've just been lazy. That's the long and short of it, quite frankly. Also, I took 2 days off this week. Jay, if you've been watching the Discord server, then yeah, you'd notice that as well. I think the last one that went up was Monday. $385, right? Nope, that's $385 was Friday. I took Monday off, so I have Tuesday. I haven't uploaded Wednesday yet, or let's see, Wednesday is the 17th, right? Yeah, Wednesday. So let me start preparing Wednesday. There you go. So yeah, I only have 2 to upload this week, Jay. All right. We'll do that one. We'll see if we get to that one. No. No, but I did put up, there's more theory. Like I put up videos for the ANCAPs Aren't Anarchist series. There's another DGen story time up there. It's a short one. It's like 16 minutes. And yeah, so. But yeah, I took 2 days off this week. I took a long weekend. I took Monday off, and then I took last night, Thursday off. Because my voice was just wrecked last night. Fair enough, Jay. For those of you who don't know, on the website, you can find a playlist of the OG material, the OG stuff that is hand selected by Jay. Jay is one of a very elite few that has gone back to the very beginning and just trolled and parsed and gone through all of the stuff. All right, like Jay has seen from moment one to now. Right? And not just seen, but heard, because when it was audio only. Right? And Jay has his own hits list on the website. That he chose as required listening for anybody who wants to sort of understand me. Oh yeah, Jay, the nothing is gone. All of my stuff is still maintained. Yeah. Oh, that list is still active. Podbean is what you're thinking of, Jay. But it's outside of that. The podcasts are accessible via the website directly. You can just stream them off the website if you want. Yeah. Ooh, I need to wait. Like that. I mean, you're allowed to, but it just sort of depends what it is if we're going to make fun of you for it. All right, on to section 4. Let's get this done. Yeah, it's all there, Jay. Let's see. Oops. There we go.
Basically telling people get up off your jock.
All of it's there. Yeah, no. BitChute. Fucking always a good sign for a piece of work is when it comes off of DLive or BitChute. Yeah, good on you, Karina, and good on you not putting that one into chat. All right, let's try and get this next section done. Chapter 8, Section 4. Aren't the enclosures a socialist myth? The short answer is no, they're not. While a lot of historical analysis has been spent in trying to deny the extent and impact of the enclosures, the simple fact is, in the words of noted historian E.P. Thompson, enclosure was a plain enough case of class robbery and played accordingly to the fair rules of property and law laid down by a parliament of property owners and lawyers. Making of English working class, page 237 to 238. The enclosures were one of the ways that the land monopoly was created. The land monopoly was used to refer to capitalist property rights and ownership of land by, among others, the individualist anarchists. Instead of an occupancy and use regimen, which was advocated by anarchists, the land monopoly allowed a few to borrow the many from the land, so creating a class of people with nothing to sell but their labor. While this monopoly is less important these days in developed nations, few people know how to farm after all, it was essential as a means of consolidating capitalism. Given the choice, most people prefer to become independent farmers rather than wage workers. You can see more on that in the next section. However, the importance of the enclosure movement is downplayed by supporters of capitalism. Little wonder, for it's something of an embarrassment for them to acknowledge that the creation of capitalism was somewhat less than immaculate. After all, capitalism is portrayed as an almost ideal society of freedom. To find out that an idol has feet of clay and that we are living with the impact of its origins is something pro-capitalists must deny. So, is the enclosures a socialist myth? Most claims that it is flow from the work of the historian J.D. Chambers' famous essay, Enclosures in the Labor Supply in the Industrial Revolution. You see more of that in Economic History Review, second series, number 5, published August 1953. In this essay, Chambers attempts to refute Karl Marx's account of the enclosures and the role it played in what Marx called primitive accumulation. We cannot be expected to provide an extensive account of the debate that has raged over this issue, but what can be provided is a summary of the works of William Lazanick, who presented an excellent reply to those who claimed the enclosures were an unimportant historical event. Drawing upon his summary of his excellent essay, quote, Karl Marx in Enclosures in England, published in a Review of Radical Political Economy, number 6, summer of 1974, which can be found in his books Competitive Advantage on the Shop Floor and Business Organization and the Myth of the Market Economy. There are three main claims against the socialist account of the enclosures, covered each in turn. Firstly, it is often claimed that the enclosures drove the uprooted cottager and small peasant into industry. However, this was never claimed. It is correct that the agricultural revolution associated with the enclosures increased the demand for farm labor as claimed by Chambers and others. And this is the whole point. Enclosures created a pool of dispossessed workers who had to sell their time and liberty to survive. The critical transformation was not the level of agricultural employment before and after enclosure, but the changes in employment relations caused by the reorganization of landholdings and the reallocation of access to land. See Competitive Advantages on the Shop Floor, page 30. Thus, the key feature of the enclosures was that it created a supply for farm labor, a supply that had no choice but to work for another. This would drive down wages and increase demand. Moreover, freed from the land, these workers could later move to the towns in search for better work. Secondly, It's argued that the number of small farm owners increased, or at least did not greatly decline, and so the enclosure movement was unimportant. Again, this misses the point. Small farm owners can still employ wage workers, i.e. become capitalist farmers as opposed to yeomen, independent peasant proprietors. As Lazanik notes, it is true that after 1750, some petty proprietors continued to occupy and work their own land, but in a world of capitalist agriculture, the yeomanry no longer played an important part in determining the course of a capitalist agriculture. As a social class that could influence the evolution of British economy and society, the yeomanry disappeared. Competitive advantage on the shop floor, page 32. Thirdly, it's often claimed that it was population growth rather than enclosures that caused the supply of wage workers. So was population growth more important than enclosures? Maurice Dobbs argues that the centuries in which a proletariat was most rapidly recruited were apt to be those of slow rather than rapid natural increase of population, and the paucity or plenitude of a labor reserve in different countries was not correlated with comparable difference in their rates of population growth. Studies in Capitalist Development, page 223. Moreover, the population argument ignores the question of whether the changes in society caused by enclosures and the rise of capitalism have an impact on the observed trends towards earlier marriage and larger families after 1750. Lazanik argues that there is reason to believe that they did. Also, of course, the use of child labor in the factories created an economic incentive to have more children, an incentive created by the developing capitalist system. Overall, Lazanik notes that to argue that population growth created the industrial labor supply is to ignore these momentous societal transformations associated with the rise of capitalism. Business Organization and the Myth of the Market Economy, page 273. In other words, there's good reason to think that the enclosures, far from being some kind of socialist myth, in fact played a key role in the development of capitalism. As Lazanik himself notes, Chambers misunderstood the argument concerning the institutional creation of a proletarianized workforce, i.e. landless. Indeed, Chambers' own evidence and logic tend to support the Marxian and anarchist argument when it is properly understood. All right. That's all I feel like doing right now. Maybe I'll do more in a bit, but that's all I feel like doing right now. Let me turn a few of these back on. Subscriptions. There. I mean, are you just joining us, Meatone? Because yeah, we covered it. Basically, it's when the English stole all the land and turned it into private property. They took the commons away. That's the long and short of it. Oh, right shoulder is sore. Oh, good. Both clips are done. Let me just get them up. Ask. All right, 262 download. All right, 8.3. And why is that? That was weird. 8.4. And great, upload. And craps 8.4 and 8.3. And let's done. Show more. Publish. And 8.4. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Karina. 100%. Because ANCAPs fundamentally, right libertarians and ANCAPs support capitalism. They're founding their argument, the core of their argumentation upon the idea that capitalism is somehow inherently just, that it is somehow the best social modality, that it is this sort of like, you know, as they pointed out in this last section, you know, its conception was immaculate, and that it was born of the natural evolution of society. Like all of these arguments that for capitalism basically are usable in other contexts. 8.4. Eight four. Publish. There you go. 2 more. And Notepad++ is wanting to update. So you know what? Go for it, homie. Probably not. Let me just check ahead. The closest we're probably going to get to that tech support is the next section on transformational land ownership in the Americas. Yeah, I think that's as close as we're going to get to that topic. Oh, for twos. Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Oh, hey now. There we go. Changed the resolution on my mouse there for a second. Things got very quick. Tech support. Start writing then. I will have put over 10 hours into just reading this document. So if you want another section, then start writing fast, because it belongs in chapter 8. And we've got 3, maybe 4 more sections to do in chapter 8 before we're done. So but I'm not adding to it. I've done my workload. I've done my part of this project. So, if you feel it needs added, I suggest you start constructing quickly. Yeah, everything is sourced. Everything is cited as it goes in the document. They're inline source citations, so be sure to include. Let's see. Hey, that's that. Oh, his shoulder is just achy. I said I put my work in. What's up next? America's working people view of the rise of capitalism, and then the history. Why is the history of capitalism important? I could probably get one or two more of these done. So we might go back to it. I'll keep echoes open. Oh, all right. Y'all want to watch some cringe? Here, let's watch some cringe. They're still waiting for JFK Jr. to show up. That's what this is. I'm not kidding you. They're still waiting for JFK Jr. to show up in Texas. Children, they died and they suffer, so now we gon' strive for their mother. My brother's brother. And sin I could, God got us covered. What do you think, Cupcake? A whole lot of bodies. No need to shed the tears, just the Illuminati. At the mainstream, that's what I see. Fire is squad, a lethal injection, I'll be black. Kennedy moving just like a centipede. Can't box me in, it's like it's telling me. I say the rap forgot when they ask me what got into me. Bible and the rifle make reality a memory. Shooters give them every shell so you can go ahead and hope them well. I hope you burn in hell. They were saying this shit that we was upon us, need a good men. I raise my hand and say that I'm a. This is their one black friend. This is their black friend. When they say they're not racist and they're like, no, I've got a black friend. This is him. This is him. This is their one black friend. Come on, pledge my allegiance. Red, white, and blue, that's for freedom. Pledge my allegiance. Let's go. Oh, it's so crazy. Oh, God, this is painful. It hurts. It hurts. So now the question's how will you and I react? The mothers are false, the tests are false, the troops are real. The COVID shots filled with S102, and that's the deal. This is a race prepared by Epstein. so bad. It's so bad. Oh. I'm not kidding you. That was them still waiting for JFK Jr. to show up. Tech support. If I have to know it exists, you have to know it exists. If I have to suffer, I've suffered through it twice now. All right? Oh, well, they already think that the person, like, here, hold on. QAnon, JFK Jr. guy they think is him, I suppose, is probably the best way to get me there. Here you go. They think this guy's JFK Jr. I'm not kidding you. They think this is JFK Jr. You were born, Viva. That makes you guilty. Don't ask me. President Trump acknowledges VIP Vincent Fusca tonight. I ran a background check on him. He could be using a dead person's social security number. Owner of the Trump mobile held up a white van photos resembling JFK Jr. Wears a fedora that looks just like JFK's famous hat. I believe hashtag QAnon, hashtag Great Awakening, hashtag where we go and all go. We go all fucking hashtag the Great Awakening. You want to see them side by side? You want to see them side by side? This is the best part. All right, this is the best part. All right, we'll put them side by side. Caboose. There's a Russian saying about digging down and striking bedrock and thinking you're at the bottom and then hearing voices beneath you. That's pretty much it. You see, the city of Aurora is gonna pay out $15 million for Elijah McClain's death. Yeah. That I could see. Just point having cops is just a more expensive option. So, yeah, Aurora, Colorado. You know, the ones that murdered some just cute little fucking teenager. Just like to play the violin for like shelter dogs and shit like that, right? Just one of the good ones. Just one of the good ones. It seemed like by all accounts Elijah McClain is just going to turn out to be like a solid human being. So they murdered him. Yeah. His one's one of the more rough ones. Don't get me wrong. Human life, loss of human life is blah, blah, blah. Look, but his was rough. He apologized. Like, his last statement was him basically begging and saying he's sorry for nothing. Like, he literally, like, I'm sorry, I'm just a bit different. Yeah, his video is really fucking tough to watch. Yeah, it's a rough one. Shelter cats. He said while they were arresting him, his anxiety. Did you see the released footage of the uncensored shooting of the Asian here in PA? Yes. Yes, I did. Guy with the hands up, Buddhist? Yeah, I did. Yeah, Zippy. It did. Elijah's was rough. It was rough. Yeah, I saw it. They maintained that he reached, but his hands were up the whole time, and they fucking just summarily executed him in the fucking road. Yeah, yeah, I saw that one, Buddhist. Anybody seen Clause 9 in the UK? This is some shit that is just like, the US is too obsessed with Kyle Rittenhouse right now, and everybody else, dude, this is some scary ass shit. Clause 9 in the UK, it is a proposal, it's a rule change that got quietly added to their nationality and borders bill. It is scary ass shit. Notice of decision to deprive a person of citizenship. It exempts the government from having to give notice if it is not reasonably practical to do so, or in the interests of national security, diplomatic relations, or otherwise in the public interest, to remove citizenship from someone. Quote, this amendment sends the message that certain citizens, despite being born and brought up in the UK and having no other home, remain migrants in this country. Their citizenship and therefore all their rights are precarious and contingent. So they already built in the power to strip British nationals of their citizenship. They can already do that. And now they don't even need to notify you if they're doing it. That one's not passed yet, but it's headed that way. Yeah, the clause would remove the need for notification altogether in a range of circumstances. It also appears to be capable of being applied retroactively to cases where an individual was stripped of citizenship without notices before the clause became law, making their ability to appeal even more difficult. This clause would give this clause would give the British government unprecedented power to remove citizenship in secret without ever having to tell you, and effectively denying you an appeal. Under this regime, a person accused of speeding would be afforded more rights than someone at risk of being deprived of their British nationality. Clause 9. Told you, this shit just didn't make headlines. It just very quietly got added. Surprise! You have no rights. Yeah, gee, I wonder who they'll use that on. It's yeah. That one's fucking sketchy as shit. If I lived in the UK, oof, that'd be an issue right now. That'd be an issue. Jesus Christ, I hate doing fucking recaps. Sorry, Weatherford. Clause 9 in the UK basically allows, they already can strip you of your citizenship and now they don't even have to tell you about it. The UK can basically just strip you of your citizenship, whether you were born there or not, and they don't even have to tell you. They can just be like, poof, you're not a citizen now. Commune, no. That's not quite how that works. It's not a real thing. If you've been following this and reading this, good on you. Caboose, very much so. Very much so. Checkmate. Checkmate, liberals. Socialism doesn't work. Kendalling, we were just talking about y'all. We were talking about the proposed Clause 9 in your nationality and borders law. Have you heard about the Clause 9? Did that make news in the UK? Because I caught wind of it. Fake news. In socialism, they have no food, and crab is food, so crab don't exist. Fair enough, Viva. Checkmate. Checkmate, atheist. Um, 50,000 Kaiser employees are going on strike, by the way. Over the contract of 700. 700 people are having contract disputes with Kaiser Health. So 50,000 are going on strike. Yep. And the and John Deere managed to double their fucking pay get bonus increases, get a whole host of things, right? Just with one strike. They couldn't get fucking raises worth of shit for how many years? One good strike, and they get exactly what they wanted. What was it? Yeah, Congress hasn't raised the minimum wage in over a decade. With one strike done, deer workers doubled their pay. Doubled their raise, killed the new tiering bullshit, improved pensions. Yeah. So. Nylander, no idea. I mean, to be fair, that's not really socialism proper. Demo. But at this point, it's not worth arguing. Okay, so they got an immediate 10% raise, another 10% raise by 2025, improved pensions, and an $8,500 bonus. That's what John Deere workers got. Took them 5 weeks. 5-week strike. They got $8,500 cash outright. Like, here's $8,500, right? A 10% raise, 10% raise in 3 years for all intents and purposes, and their pensions got improved as well. So, yep. I'd have hung out for more, but you know. Germany's legalizing weed, y'all. Germany's actually fucking getting on board. Looks by all accounts, Germany's legalizing weed at the federal level. So, kind of, says Viva. Better than not. Right? Kind of is better than not kind of. Viva, you want to add some nuance to it? What are y'all doing? I saw the Germans were fucking losing their shit on Reddit. Nice, Gemma. Yes, keep the Germans stoned and away from meth. I think we forgave them a long time ago, Commune. I think we're just never going to let them forget it. That's all. I think most people forgave Germany ages ago. It's just a matter of we're never going to let them forget what they did. Yeah, basically. It's just a trial that can be easily stopped. Interesting. Well, let's hope it doesn't get stopped, Via. Did everybody see the life cycle of a millennial? This is age shifted a little for me. I'm a little older than this, but this works. The life cycle works. Too real. Yeah. Climate. Bye. I wonder why millennials and Gen Z have such insane rates of depression and like general anxiety disorder. Um, I'm sure. I'm sure it had. I'm sure it's like it's the internet, right? Video games, something like that. It's all that avocado toast. That's what it is. Yeah, it's all that avocado toast. Ah, yes, the social media. The social media is it. Oh, you saw it. Yes, you saw the meme, did you? Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's kind of the fun of it, soccer. How's the internet down in Cuba, Skeptic? Oh, commune. Um, well, after repressing it for a couple of decades, yeah, they do now. The history of Cuba and the internet and technology in general is an interesting story to be told. I've known a couple of people who were responsible for smuggling in the hard drives back in the day, and then USB flash drives with like media, popular culture, software, games, that sort of stuff, that then spread over what was called the Cuban internet, right? Which was literally like hand to hand. It was sneaker netted. The Cubano government for many years were not fans of the internet. So while Skeptic may point out that it's subsidized now, it was repressed yesterday. Right? So avocados are good food. It's a shame they're all tied to the drug cartels now. No, Caboose, of course not. Why would they acknowledge declining wages, lack of job security, and impending climate disaster at all? Sure, Skeptic. Paper update, says Crimson. I said fuck it, and I'm just writing about what I want to now. Crimson, I respect it. Marcus, morally opposed to aging. Yes, Skeptic. That's that. Yes. I mean, that's our fault for continuing the war on drugs. Socialism is when no internet, so Cuba is now not socialism anymore. Crimson, my repertory director and an English teacher taught me when learning how to do jar speeches, she taught me the best lesson that one can be taught in that instance. You have to start talking about the topic. It doesn't mean you have to finish on the topic, right? Start talking about the museum and then talk about other things tangentially related to the museum. And then talk about something tangentially related to the things that are tangentially related to the things that are tangentially related to the museum, right? Where you wander in that essay is up to you. Start with the topic and then finish somewhere else. That's the Caribbean, all right. And that's a resort. That's some fucking gringo resort shit right there. But, yep, that's definitely a Caribbean beach. Gorgeous. It's gorgeous, Skeptic. I'll have to make my way down there one of these days. Socialism is when his son has smaller house. Everyone knows that. I mean, for twos, if we wanted to just make friend of the French government, we could do that all day. There you go, Crimson. See, you got it. Talk about that. I lived in the Deep South. This shit's for real. Shit's for real. It's fake ass fucking country music these days, folks. Real fucking country boys, they do not get along with the popo. Real fucking country boys are not a fan of the police. The police tend to fuck up their good times. You don't live in the South. You live in Florida, Glazy. You don't live in the Deep South. You live in Florida. There's a difference. Yeah, again, you live in Florida. Florida ain't the Deep South. Bama's the Deep South. Florida ain't the Deep South. Florida's basically a retirement community with meth and alligators. Y'all lost your Deep South status. If you want the Deep South, you gotta go over to Kentucky, Bama. I mean, even West Virginia, even though it's pretty north. Fucking, yep, Georgia's Deep South. Yeah. I would not describe Hemingway as a Leninist. Oh. Call me Blair Mountain. Mine strikers. Good old term redneck. There's two iterations of that story. Yeah, you can support Castro and not be a Leninist. There's two iterations of that story. There's two overlapping origins for the term redneck. One, the redneck on the workers from being out in the sun all day. But then two, the red scarves and bandanas that were the calling card of the striking proletariat in that part of the world. When the good old boys rose up and decided that they're the mine owners and the wage slave drivers had pushed them just a tad too far and had taken just a bit too much from them, they decided that they weren't going to take that shit anymore. They ain't going to take it. They ain't going to take it. So they stood up for themselves. And that led to the first firebombing by the United States federal government. Yes, sirree. They bombed those striking miners. That's where we get the term redneck. It's actually a term of endearment. It's an honorable term to be a redneck. But these days, it's been maligned. It has been taken out back and beaten with a rubber hose. Well, not Viva, not drag racers, but NASCAR. Drag racing is an extension of, but NASCAR. Yes, NASCAR is literally a direct iteration of moonshiners hot rodding their cars in order to outrun the police. That's literally how that works. Your Poppy was a moonshiner. I'll be damned. Skeptic. Lenin didn't come up with vanguardism. Kautsky did. Kautsky. Yeah, Kautsky. Kautsky came up with vanguardism. It wasn't created. Lenin popularized it, but it wasn't Lenin that created vanguardism by a long shot. So just know that. Glazy, you don't live in God's country. You live in Florida. You live in the God's blind spot. Basically, the taint of humanity, the taint of existence, where even God not dare glance. Oh, no, Maddie, I think it's great. I think it's a great verdict. What I learned today from that verdict is it is okay. Skeptic, Lenin didn't create vanguardism. Kautsky did. You can be vanguardistic without being a Leninist. Lenin popularized it, didn't create it. Kautsky did. What I learned, Maddie, from that decision today, I am super thankful for. What it taught me was it is okay for a protester to cross state lines, armed to the teeth, to engage in what they perceive to be an extension of their community, and be involved in direct action, up to and including self-defense, utilizing an AR-15. I think it's great. I'm right now. I'm trying to arm the new Black Panthers with all brand new AR-15s. I'm trying to get a sponsorship so we can get the Black Panther Party, like all AR-15s, so that they can show up to wherever there is a police shooting armed to the teeth and engage in direct action with that community and defend themselves from what they perceive to be a threat. It's going to be great. I'm 100% for this ruling. I think I cannot wait to start arming the like black trans community. One for me too, please. One donated AR for me too. Yeah. I think it's great. This is a brilliant decision. The NFAC is much better than the NBP. Commune. None of the chuds know what the NFAC is. All they know is the Black Panthers. You got to speak to the dummies in their own language. I think urban combat, a bullpup would work better, but your mileage may vary. Viva, I'm already on those lists. I'm okay with it. No, I think it's great. I think it's 100% a great precedent to be set. This isn't sarcasm. I'm serious. Y'all have no idea what you just did. Y'all have no fucking clue what you just did with this ruling. This is an amazing ruling. Dude, remember during George Floyd protests when all the fucking right-wingers were screaming about how out-of-state agitators were showing up and causing trouble? This is a legal justification for out-of-state agitators to show up and cause trouble. Up to and including legal, deadly self-defense. This is amazing. Dude, Antifa can go anywhere now. Fucking Black Bloc can just show up. This is an amazing, mind-blowing ruling. Like, the galaxy brain take on this ruling is fucking ridiculous. They have no idea what they just did. This is a brilliant ruling. Honestly. Fucking. Yeah, but now we can do it legally. And we can do it strapped. Gemma, I'll take it. Yeah, and we can do it strapped now. Black Bloc usually doesn't go armed, in the traditional American sense at least. But now Black Bloc can show up armed. Yeah. Dude. I'm for it. 100%. Coming to a town near you, but now they get to strap themselves with AR-15s instead. Right? Now it's not just fucking black gear. Now you get to have you get to actually have like the murked out fucking AR-15. Yeah, Gustavo. I do believe that was one of the ones from Sao Paulo, which is hilarious, by the way. That Glazy they look weak. Glazy, they would have murdered you. They would have murdered you, just outright. You don't have enough rounds in your magazine to deal with that crew. Trust me. Like that's South America, fucking Black Bloc. They don't fuck around. You'd be fucked. Like that. Yeah. Homie, they don't play. They don't play, bro. That ain't a bunch of fucking liberal college students, right? Like that's some real shit right there. Right? They will teach you a lesson. Yeah. Yeah. Gemma, exactly. Fucking defense of the union, baby. There we go. Yeah. American conservatives have they have this watered down version of bloc because they've never dealt with any like real Black Bloc, right? Like they don't. They don't. They've never encountered it. Like the last time I saw like a proper black bloc rollout was probably Seattle or Portland. Right? Like, yeah. Dude, you don't want to fuck with that. No, you wouldn't, Maddie. You really wouldn't. Sorry. You really wouldn't. I don't know what to tell you, bro. That's like, saying I'd fuck up the sheriff's department in 2 seconds. No, you wouldn't. That's just a delusional fucking... You do realize we were just talking about, like, proper black bloc? Like, Chilean, Argentinian, Brazilian, Italian, French, German. Right? Like I literally just said, most American conservatives haven't encountered a real black bloc in 2 decades. So, you've never seen what it looks like when that happens. It's BLOC, Glazy, and it's an organizational tactic and a anonymous entity. Maddie, I've trained with the likes of Ignatius Piazza, right? I've trained with like actual spec ops forces. I grew up doing that, by the way. Like, this is part of like channel lore at this point. I literally am a son of an FFL holder, a mother who was tapped for an Olympic shooting team, and a multiple firearms academy owners. I grew up in that environment. I've done tactical training. I've hung out with those people at some of the highest levels. I was 14 shooting a fucking Barrett 50 cal out in the desert at a mile range, right? Like, this is the shit that I know. I grew up. My son's SEAL, and I'm in armor. And I can spell and say words correctly. Do you mean you're an armorer? Gemma, it's an interesting exercise in physics and geometry. I mean, other than that, it's just a very large bang and a sore shoulder if you're fucking young and skinny. But it is a very interesting exercise in physics and geometry. I will say that. I find generally armorers know how to spell armorer. But that's just me. But I'm sure, I'm sure your son's a Navy SEAL and that you're an armorer. To what extent you have training, I have doubts. But that's neither here nor there. No, I mean, they're a bullet shield. Poverty draft. Gotta love the poverty draft. There's the poverty draft, then the fucking gullibility draft. There are two different drafts in this country. There's the broke and I need to get the fuck out of here. And then there's the I believe God bless America fucking draft, right? There's the two. So it could be either or. Yeah. Oh yeah, Gemma. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a really fascinating process to like lob around downrange, and like be able to sort of like perceive the arc. Well, Aspen, that's usually if you had the money and you wanted to get the fuck out of someplace, you get the fuck out of someplace. That's sort of a poverty draft. It's cool. Call me in. I'm an anarchist, hence anarchist stream. Anarchism is inherently leftist, and anybody who tells you that it can be a right-wing ideology is lying to you and doesn't understand the origins of anarchism, nor do they understand right ideologies. Yeah, Aspen, like, if you got the cash and you want to get the fuck out, you can get the fuck out. It's all about money and fucking delusion at the end of the day. Capitalism is inherently hierarchical, coercive, and oppressive, and creates a system of slavery within itself. Right libertarianism, or North American libertarianism, is a bastardization of the term libertarianism and negates the beliefs in human rights and underlying concepts that are born of the egalitarian movement of the Enlightenment. So, no. Oh, I didn't even see that question. Gemma, for Australian, you're very well versed, by the way. Gustavo, it is. Support the troops is the right-wing equivalent of the woke talk on the other side of the aisle. Yeah, generally, Karina, generally either your spotter keeps an eye on it or you stay downrange with the scope. Yeah, when they're not busy committing war crimes. I've heard of them, Gemma. They got themselves into some deep shit recently with some of their actions. But yes, I'm aware of them. Yeah, that dude, they got up to some sketchy ass shit. Love that y'all are finding out about that. But yeah, they were up to some sketchy ass shit. Was it the... Oh, it was the summary execution of prisoners, right? Was that them, Gemma? I'm not overlapping, right? Was that that crew that was doing the summary execution of prisoners because they just didn't want to... They didn't have room on the helicopter or some shit like that? 'Cause that was a fucked story. It wasn't prisoners. It was a mentally disabled Afghan kid, and they murdered the witnesses. Okay. All right. Then at least, yeah, I got it messed up in my head of who they were summarily executing. But yeah. Okay. Good to... So, okay. It's the same crew in my head, though. Got it. Thank you, Gemma. Beasticle. I don't know if we know who did that. But yeah, a whistleblower from like Australian Spec Ops fucking did have a car bomb put on their car. Yeah. That is a very real thing that happened. Wait, hold on. Jesus, Gemma. Is somebody actually arguing that women don't belong in the military or some shit? You think the FBI is left wing? Are you functionally like, are you okay, man? You think the FBI is left wing? You're not. I mean, I don't. Do I need to do the meme? Like, go touch grass, man. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Fucking when they prosecuted two of my buddies in up in Pacific in Seattle, that for sure. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. If you think the FBI is left wing, you don't. Wait, hang on. Can you define left wing? Is Hillary Clinton left wing? Is Nancy Pelosi left wing? Is Chuck Schumer left wing? Is Dianne Feinstein left wing? Hold on, we need to Overton window shift this person. That clicked right out of the gate. Like, we need to Overton shift this. Is like Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and fucking like Dianne Feinstein, are all these people left wing? Nice, Crimson. Do you deny that they've used counter-terror tactics on leftists for decades? Up to and including now? Just because they attack you finally doesn't mean they haven't been attacking us since literally the 50s. Like, welcome to the club. You finally understand what it means to have an authoritarian boot on your neck. Congratulations. You're not the only victim. Good job. By the way, what is CRT? Just out of curiosity, what is critical race theory? What actually is that? But welcome to the club. You finally know what it's like to be on the receiving end of the authoritarian boot heel. Congratulations. Sucks, doesn't it? Welcome to the team. So what actually is what is critical race theory? What actually is it? Just out of curiosity. Holy shit. Cupcake, are you here? Cupcake, are you here? I just saw the screenshot you posted of that guy, and that he's got the tag masculine up on his stream. Homie, you're a twink. like masculine isn't really the definition. It isn't a tag that you should be using. Like he's the definition of a fucking twink. Fucking masculine. You're one maid outfit away from being a femboy. Fucking masculine my ass. That's hilarious. Yeah, game knows game, Roblox. Dude, that's exactly it. Like, homie, you're like on our team. Oh, so you're admitting that this person talking about fucking national traditionalism is a hypocrite. Cool. Cool. Good to know. Roblox, you want to come on the air? Come own me on the air. Come on. You seem like you got a bee in your bonnet. Well, you see, once this challenge has been issued, something happens. See, when somebody becomes irritating in chat and they're challenged to come on the air, something happens. Yes, laugh at the poor, whose mic arm alone costs more than probably your computer. Anyway, that was the end of the countdown timer. What's going to happen is you now have 30 seconds to get on the air. If you don't, then, well, you'll be leaving us. Yellow Tech Mika is a starting price of $400. It's a radio and recording studio grade arm. So feel free to look it up. Yellow Tech, TEC, Mika, M!Ka. It's made in Germany and shipped over. So yeah. Feel free. But I do believe your 30 seconds is up, and I don't see anybody. I don't see you in chat. So, bye, Pookie. Anyway. So, Maddie, down to one. Maddie, somebody's just redeemed timeout on you. Now, I'll give you an option, Maddie. You can come on the air to avoid your timeout, or you can take your timeout like a man and be here at the end of it. But I'll tell you, it's Friday, and we just kind of want to have fun. It's bad movie night. But y'all are ruining our fun. So, your choice. I'm sorry, is the right winger talking about cancel culture? I lived through the satanic panic. Like, that's hilarious. Yeah. Chud number one, Cupcake just wanted to argue and be a debate bro and wouldn't get on the air. So we just countdowned him. Chud number two got timed out by Gemma. So there you go. When they want to be cowards and just sit in chat and lob like kind of shitty ad homs, like, I want to own you from chat if you can read, right? Everybody laugh at the poor. When they want to do shit like that, then they get challenged to come on the air. And if they're too much of a coward to come on the air, then they get removed. There's two ways to get fucking banned on this channel. Well, two ways. Be boring like that, or TOS. Let's see. Yeah, I can't show that one. I hope he's grown up a little bit. For those, earlier we were talking about the one in Pennsylvania. Here's the link. I can't show this. You know what? I'm not going to put it in Twitch. If you're on the Discord, server, check the shared content section. And the link to the Pennsylvania State Police, the uncensored Pennsylvania State Police shooting video will be there. So if you want to see the shitfuckery that the Pennsylvania State Police were up to, they killed a suicidal teenager who was holding like what's being described as a realistic pellet gun. He had his hands up in the air and they fucking executed him. Like, he did not have the gun. He had his hands in the air. They maintained he reached for it. But they only released a censored video, and finally the uncensored video has been making the rounds. And now we know. Like, yeah, they just shot a fucking a suicidal teenager. Well, that's good, Crimson. God, I still can't get over that Cupcake. Fucking, wait, what was that? Cozy masculine Christian English. National traditionalism. AJ Williams. One. Super masculine. Hey, everybody. Check out the image of masculinity going on over there. Just very... Can he grow a beard? I'm just saying. Like... like... If you're gonna live by traditionalist standards, then you're going to die by traditionalist standards. Like, I don't give a shit. Homie, you want to be a twink and act like you're a big boy? That's fine. But if you're going to sit there and argue for national traditionalism and shit and like tradcon values, then you better believe I'm going to pick you apart by tradcon values. Crimson. It's not even government, Gustavo. It's about systems. Viva, if you're not looking now, then it's your own damn fault, Viva. Yeah, and Gustavo, I mean, I'm an anarchist proper, right? It's not about the state. It's not about the government proper. It's about the philosophical and ethical and meta-ethical analysis of those systems and them failing to meet the justification for their claim to authority that is cause for advocacy of removal. Oh, we 100% do. Bagheera, we 100% do. I can't wait to use this verdict as justification for Antifa members to show up to any direct action or protest around this country with AR-15s. I'm 100% behind this verdict. This verdict is great. Are you kidding me? This means leftist direct action can just arm themselves and show up wherever the fuck they want and make claims to like community ties. This is the best fucking verdict y'all have handed us in a very long time, and you don't understand what you just did. This is a great verdict. Hey, Joritos. Yeah. Leftists are going to get fucking armed to the teeth as a result of this. It's going to be great. Viva, yeah, it could be argued, yeah. Yeah, even outside the state of Wisconsin, it can be referenced at least. Yeah. Caboose. Bagheera? Stepson of a federal firearms holder. My mother was tapped for Olympic shooting team. We owned multiple firearms training facilities. I've trained with experts in close quarters combat and CCW and military handling. The likes of like Ignatius Piazzo, and I've been to Front Sight. I've been to like, homie, there's a Socialist Rifle Association. Yeah, we're better at handling firearms than you probably understand. Karl Marx himself, right? Any attempt to surrender ammunition or firearms should be frustrated by force if necessary. Right? Hey, Versa. Yeah. If you're talking like centrist liberal Democrat type, yeah, they're terrible usually. But leftists own guns. All right? Leftists own guns. And usually lots of them. Because we usually have more... Well, that's not here nor there. Versa. Gandhi wasn't fucking anti-violence either. Yeah, that's one of the first things people learn about Gandhi when they start researching Gandhi is Gandhi wasn't nonviolent. Gandhi just recognized the fact that the Indian people had no other choice because they had been, in his words, emasculated by the British Empire. And had they had weaponry, Gandhi would have resorted to weaponry first. But they didn't have the standing army nor the armaments necessary to conduct that sort of engagement. Yeah. And commune, that's a big question. I saw it go by. I'm not ignoring you, commune. I saw the fucking question. But the only legislation you would catch me advocating for is harm reduction or expansion of, because I am, there's a French socialist by the name of Gores. I am in a sense a Goresian in the fact that I do believe he basically, Gores argued that you could create a dual power structure by utilizing the power of the state to create a series of social programs that would allow people to draw away from the state. So things like healthcare, food security, right to housing, these sorts of things, right? If you implemented these, then people would be freer of that financial hamster wheel that we keep them on. Thus, we can then construct dual power systems alongside it and start to draw away from that power of the state that is sustaining the society, right? I do believe there's an avenue to take there. So the only legislation you would ever catch me advocating for would be something along the lines of, commune, just exclamation reading list. I think is it reading or reading list? I always fucking forget. It's reading. On my website. So that's the only legislation you would catch me like actively advocating for, healthcare for all, that sort of thing, right? Oh, direct democracy is like, look, a form of it, but you need to, I'm a consensus decision-making style guy. At best, approval voting, right? Like if you're familiar with the different styles of voting, approval voting, but I prefer not a direct democracy, but a fluid democracy or a liquid democracy. Depends on who's speaking as to which version of it you get. But basically, it allows for a delegative offloading and then a reclaiming of your direct democratic vote. So I can appoint you my delegate, and you can vote on my behalf on issues locally or nationally, however we're talking about this or setting this up. And then if at any point I decide the topic is too important or you're going a different way or whatever, I can take my vote away from you instantaneously. And so can anybody else. So you could have the voting power. You could be a delegate tasked with voting on the behalf of a community, and overnight you could be a singular vote again. So yeah, I'm more in the fluid or liquid democracy territory. Versa, I call that theoretical. I'm a theoretical pacifist. Basically, I don't want to hurt you. Don't make me hurt you. But if you come in through that door and you corner me, I'm going to put you down without hesitation. Right? Like, I'm not coming for you. I'm not going out on my way to come get you. I don't think that's the way to solve things. But if you come through that door, I will end you. Right? Like it's like that. It's just sort of a logical. Gemma. I only try and do one or two of those a stream. Leftists don't own guns. Oh, that's a small one, though. Jesus Christ. The resolution on that's miserable, Cupcake. I love Merrick. I know Merrick gets in trouble with like fucking leftists. I love Merrick. I think she's great. Arundhati Roy has an interesting quote on pacifism. Can the hungry go on a hunger strike? Nonviolence is a piece of theater. You need an audience. What can you do when you have no audience? People have the right to resist annihilation. Yeah. No, I agree. I think the right has handed us a fucking argument and a talking point with this Kyle Rittenhouse shit that I think is hilarious. Like, all of you, like, here is my advice, right? You've heard me do the talking point. You've heard me do the line. Don't bring logic. Don't bring common sense. Don't bring the reality of the situation. We all know the fucking, like, you know, the powers that be, as they stand, are going to swing one direction on this. We know that. But I think the seed of doubt can be sown because they don't trust the system either. They see it as their enemy too. They see it as like some like globalist agenda coming for them, right? Sow that seed of doubt. Every time one of them brings this up for the next coming however long, do exactly what I've been doing. Lean into it. Be like, no, we're super into it. Yeah, you're right. No, this is a great verdict. This means Antifa can show up with AR-15s in any city in the country when there's like, you know, a police shooting of a black man or a black kid or fucking anybody really, but you know, it's going to be a black dude. It always is. And we can protest with guns now, right? Like this is a super fucking, this is a win for our team as far as we're concerned. Yeah. You won one. Like, woo, go Kyle. Just lean into it. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, that's adorable that you think the dude who sucker punches women is an upstanding citizen. Yes, there's a video of Kyle Rittenhouse sucker punching a girl. Yeah, totally an upstanding citizen. Domestic violence is the number one marker for whether somebody's going to kill somebody with a firearm in a household. Sorry, your hero is a woman beater. No, it wouldn't have. In fact, everything was excluded in the court case. You do realize that even up to and including circumstances involving the riot directly were excluded from that court case. No, it wouldn't have been brought up in that court case. You just Pookie. Come on. Finally finished my paper with 30 minutes left. Now I have an essay due Sunday and I'm done for the week. Jesus Crimson, that's a workload. That's a workload, man. What's the what essay? What do you have to fucking finish now, Crimson? I love that. Trump did nothing wrong. # free Donald. I mean, other than probably banging 15-year-olds in a Russian suite. and being peed on by those 15-year-olds. Yeah, I'm sure he did nothing wrong. Oh, the 13-year-old he raped. How about busting into the Young Miss America pageants where there's like fucking pre-teenage girls, and he openly admitted how he would like go in there when they were dressing and he enjoyed it, right? Or how about the time he talked about sexualizing his own daughter? Ooh, that was creepy. But I'm sure none of that's wrong, right? I mean, Glaze, you can say it, but it's fucking cringe as shit, man. You do realize we're all laughing at it, right? Like, if you want to say fuck Joe Biden, just say fuck Joe Biden. What is with this weird coded fucking pat on the back bullshit that y'all do? It's sophomoric. Like, it's kind of pathetic. Like, it is. It's such little dick energy, right? Like, holy shit, man. Only if you want us to laugh at you, not with you, at you. Yeah, like just say it, man. It's like those people that are like on Twitter or Reddit or Facebook and they censor themselves, right? They say like frick, or they do the exclamation asterisk fucking pound sign shit, right? And you're like, what is wrong with you? It's the internet. Just swear. It's weird. Yeah, beast, yeah. Oh, we got another God bless Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, we agree. As leftists, we 100% agree. This is just case law for like leftist protesters, Antifa, Black Bloc members who want to show up to an out-of-state protest to direct action with firearms and engage now. This is a win for us. So yes. I will take this win. Yeah. Hey, Zippy. All right. Simple minds are appeased by the simple. That is true, Wither. That is true. I wish I were ignorant sometimes. Seems really nice. I mean, stupid people seem happy. Right? Like, stupid people seem happy. Be nice to experience that, right? To not be aware of like circumstances and systemic issues and basic math and science. Be nice. It is, Gemma. Ignorance is bliss. It would be nice to be that dumb. You do realize that leftists don't like Kamala either, right, Bagheera? She's a cop. We've been saying fuck Kamala the cop before you even knew who Kamala Harris was. So, welcome to Team Leftism, I guess? People who say let's go Brandon instead of fuck Joe Biden are cowards. I don't even think they're cowards. They're just fucking sophomoric. They're the kind of person that would, it's sad. It's sad. Where's that short story that Cave wrote about fucking Kamala and Joe and Hillary? Dude, fucking somebody go find Cave. Fucking where's a copy of that story? Hey Cassidy, strap in. Let's see. I'm not a coward. I'm just religious. Jesus forgives all sins as long as you've accepted Jesus into your heart as your one and true Savior. Therefore, your sinning doesn't matter in the eyes of the Lord. Glazy. You're already forgiven, right? If you're religious, if you truly believe, Glazy, if you've accepted Jesus Christ as your one true Lord and Savior in your heart of hearts, your sin is already forgiven. And Jesus was okay with that. Jesus was made aware of all of your sin and was okay with it and still got up on the cross. So, yeah, Gemma. Crimson, what kind of puzzle? Yeah, Wither. Caves around from time to time. Oh, Cassie, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Glazy, that's because Scott is just a conservative. He's just an alt-righter. That's all. Hey, Mr. Bird, I'll unban you if you come on the air. Just know that you're going to get your boy AJ TOS'd because you're going around doing these promotions this way. You're going to get him a channel strike if you keep fucking around this way. It's very bad form. You make the reference, but you don't even know his name? You kind of look like Homer's boss in The Simpsons, but you don't know his name. Nah, it's just fucking lip balm. Glazy. Dr. Bronner's naked organic lip balm. Right? That's weird. It's too late. I'm not getting on a voice call. You can follow me all you want, but... holy shit, really? Nonsense. Get some sense on my line. I want to congratulate her directly. I mad props to some sense. Mad fucking props. She got chops, man. She got chops. Yeah. That's an impressive feat unto itself, and did it in fairly record time. That was an impressive time frame to do that. That's yeah. Mad fucking props to some sense on that one. Finishing Infinite Jest alone is a task. Finishing Infinite Jest in just 2 months or some shit like that, maybe? That's spectacularly impressive. And is she going to reread it? Because it's the kind of book that needs reread. Because it's so fucking insane and dense. Crimson, I'm glad. Yeah, it's good stuff. That's, dude. Golf clap. Golf clap for some sense. She doesn't know what to do now. Tell her to reread it. Because she's gonna fucking see stuff that she didn't see the first time through. Yeah. That, or if she wants a commune, it usually takes, you did it, some sense. It usually takes a mod to do it. Or the channel streamer themselves. But yes, it's completely doable. Am I going to TwitchCon next year? It's in San Diego, right? Maybe. Maybe. I've thought about it. Eskazon. Sleep well. Take care of yourself. Yep. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for putting up with the chuds. I hope you rest well. Yeah, mad props, some sense. You wouldn't have minded if it was longer. Jesus Christ, some sense. Oh, nonsense. It's been chuddy the whole time. The whole time. The Rittenhouse thing has them all riled up. Yeah. What does my name mean? Radical. Second Oxford English Dictionary definitional set. Fundamental or systemic change, especially that within a political system. Not these radical leftists, these crazy violent people, right? No, it's not what that means. It means fundamental or systemic change, especially that within a political system. This needs fundamentally changed. There needs to be systemic change. I'm proudly radical. That's what it means. I gotta pull that commune. Some sense. You got some stuff going on up there, don't you? Hi, Patrick. Just threading a cable. What are we gonna do for a bad movie night? Because if you leave it up to me, I'm doing God's Not Dead the Third. No, I'm just reading a message from Karina. Well, Karina. You still vote Fight Night? No, we haven't done Kangaroo Jack. Beasticle is putting forward Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. If you've got a pairing with Kangaroo Jack, put it forward. Zippy, we've watched 2 of them so far. There's a 3rd and a 4th being made. Marcus, look, I grew up on Mortal Kombat, but it's not a great fucking movie. It's not a great movie. Oh yeah, you want to watch the Kangaroo Chronicles, Zippy? It's not a bad movie. It's actually a really good movie. So when you come in as a group and you attempt to do a bad faith movement like that, and you all follow simultaneously, just know that what happens is the alerts get auto-filtered. There are protection systems in place against that sort of thing. So, for those of you who don't know what's happening, something just happened. Let's see. I don't think it'll be a bad movie. Yeah, no, it's not a bad movie. Fucking. Yeah, but the 4th movie is out? October 4th. Oh. What's it called? God's Not Dead, We the People. Oh, Christian propaganda. Oh, Christian propaganda. No, Gemma. No, not at all. Can we add those Megiddo movies to the list? I mean, the list is available for anybody who wants to add to it. Just go to the movies we want to watch thread on under Bad Movie Night and go add. Just make sure if you're adding more than one movie, add them individually so we can mark them off as we do it. Oh, Kat, it has been an interesting day already. Let's see. All right, so it looks like we're probably leaning towards Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. So God damn it. Let's see if we can find